Okay, episode 5, Euphoria. We are playing catch up and we are getting there. We love this series that we're giving each episode its own dedicated 15 minutes of joy. Okay, episode 5. Well, this starts with one of our...
It's about Maddie, this one, really.
It's about Maddie, not you. No. Another Maddie. Beauty pageant girl Maddie.
Yeah, it's beauty pageant.
Which I've always thought beauty pageants can just twist you up and spit you out in a very odd... Messed up place. Mum's a pedicurist. Nate and I get together quite early in their thing, but what I thought was most telling about this pre-title portrait, as we call them, was something that really alarm-belled for your mum, which was her watching porn to get her sense of how to be. And I mean, did that speak to the pressures on lots of young adults?
I know girls that do that.
Yeah. And so I thought that was a very clever way of explaining the shallowness that you were describing in episode 4. You know, you do have fixed opinions on Maddie. I mean, you feel she's one thing, but this gave us a good chance to get to grips with
I really like her character.
She's
so watchable.
She's so watchable.
You know she's the one from mid-90s that gets off with the little boy.
You're joking.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, she's so good in that. Check her out in Mid-90s. Oh my God, she's brilliant.
She's a small part in Mid-90s.
She's a brilliant actress.
Oh
and
my
she's
God.
so beautiful. The character is just fascinating.
Oh my God, she's so beautiful. I found her Instagram the other day. I was like, I hate you.
She's that beautiful.
I hate you.
And yet I love the fact that she's faithful to Nate, but she's not faithful to Nate. I thought the way they did that was really neat, wasn't it?
She goes, and she's never cheated on me.
Yeah,
apart from this guy, this guy.
I thought that was very funny. So it really, I thought for me, it made me realise that she really does love Nate. You think she doesn't, Nate?
I think she really does.
Really? Why?
I think she
in her own way, in the way that Maddie could.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, it's interesting that what we find out about her mum and dad have got this awful relationship. There's the alcoholic father fast asleep in the chair, no connections. But she has made a decision that Nate is going to be the one to give her the life that she wants. I think she's...
Right.
I think it's about choosing the guy with the fast car. You're choosing the guy, she's...
But I also think she's in love with him, but she's got a weird idea of love.
She's put all her fruits into one basket, with her eggs into one basket, and that's Nate. And whatever he does, she is not going to let go of that because he's wealthy. He's the jock. He's tall.
Beautiful.
He's good looking. She's got status with him.
Yeah.
She feels loved. She feels loved or needed or desired because he's so insane. It's the most toxic.
But I don't feel that
toxic relationship.
But just because it's a toxic relationship doesn't mean that she's not in love with him.
No.
I genuinely believe that she is in love.
I kind of do too, and also.
And I didn't think that up until this episode.
No, and in fact, I began to think it in the last episode. And I'm sort of thinking, I'd have thought she'd been far more Machiavellian with the photos if she didn't love him. I think she would have had much more leverage with him. She doesn't seem to want the leverage with him.
She would totally expose him if she didn't.
But then she can't admit that because if she she starts to think he's gay, all her eggs have to come out of that basket.
God, you like this basket?
Yeah, you like these eggs in this basket.
Look at every single time they have sex, she has dead eyes. He's brutal when he has sex with her, right? And she's thinking, I'm not going to have gone through all of this to lose him now for whatever reason.
Yeah. Okay, well, after the title, Zendaya reveals to her mum that she's in love with Jules. She says on the voiceover that she loves fentanyl and she loves Jules.
Well, she goes, she's like, the best thing I've ever tried is fentanyl, but Jules is a close second.
And what I liked about that line was equating a human relationship with a narcotic dependency. And I think that's really intriguing because I think that's going to be the heart of where Zendaya's and Jules's relationship buckles. And I think this episode gave us a few big topics, really, which was Jules and Zendaya, the strength or not of their relationship, friendship, and how that's going to impact on Zendaya's sobriety. Yeah. But this episode also gave us a lot of content around Maddie, essentially domestic abuse, being abused or beaten up by your partner. And the school going into a massive investigation of this because she doesn't want to bring it up, but her mother sees that her neck's been bruised from when she was in the fun fair held up, and the mum wants to press charges. I thought this raised a lot, again, very cleverly, without being like Grange Hill or like an educative documentary type thing or doing it obviously. All these topics are coming up. You know what I mean? So we're dealing with boyfriends who are too violent for young adults again, and you're not feeling the heavy hand.
And
of
also,
the producer.
Maddie doesn't like eat or drink for a week.
No, right. And she's on a period, and so she passes out, doesn't she, at school?
Yeah, she passes out, and that's when the teacher realised because she'd been covering it up all day.
That's right.
And that's when the teachers realised. And I really loved Jules getting the tattoo
Oh, yeah,
in her lip.
What did it say?
So it said rules, so
That's
that's
right.
Rue and Jules' name together.
Ah, that's
Yeah,
right.
ship names. They're called.
What did you think of its dealing with sort of the violence side of things? And Maddie, did you think? I thought it was quite believable. I
I
thought
thought
Maddie
it was really
played it very
believable
well.
with her not wanting him getting in trouble as well.
Yeah. Well, did you believe that?
And I
Mad?
really liked the way that the school just went into first gear and took over, and it was sorted, and police were. You don't often
Yes,
see
that's
that.
true.
You usually see in
Yeah.
dramas and getting
Yeah,
away with
very
it. So
true.
all the way through all of that scene, I kept thinking, well,
They're
obviously
gonna
in a
back
minute
off.
they're all going to do it, and it just went the full way.
Yeah.
It went the full hog.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
of course, the moment when Nate's parents get called in because he's been in trouble, and the dad goes and he throws up in the toilet because he must have thought he was in trouble
Oh, of
about
course.
Jules.
Yes, yes,
And then when he
yes.
finds out that it's Nate, he's like, but hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about that really kind of telling scene? Telling because not virtually nothing was said between. I'm fascinated by Nate's father and Nate's relationship. And you have that scene where
Yeah.
he goes into the side room and he says, "Did you do it?" And you know you can see that he's
The dad knows he did it.
Yeah, he's
He
looking
goes,
at
did
him,
you do it? And
willing
Nate
him
goes,
to
no.
lie.
And he goes, that's fine. It's like, you know, his...
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
gave
yeah.
me the right answer.
So anyway, so
Oh
yeah,
yeah, Nate and the dad are both looking at Jules in the school. That was
I
really
know.
like...
That's very strange,
so
isn't it? And Jules was looking at both of them.
So pure.
Yeah.
So puke and so eerie and so weird. And then
Oh,
Nate.
because obviously he blackmailed her, didn't he, in the last episode, Nate? He blackmailed
that's right.
Jules.
That's right.
Because he said,
Yeah.
it's because of all of the penises he sent.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, because
So he has, if Jules says anything, then she's...
That's right. He's threatened her with apparently if she's created an image of anything
I know, it's
sexual.
the image of herself that
Yeah,
she
yeah.
sent to him.
But that's officially the creation of
Even though
pornographic.
she's underage,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
still creating porn.
Now, I thought Zendaya, I mean, Nate gets suspended from school, and then this whole curious sort of relationship, but from afar, develops between Maddie and Nate, doesn't it? Where you can't tell if they're talking to each other. And again, I felt that what was driving them together was love. I mean, a contorted
Yeah,
love,
obviously
a twisted love,
yeah.
a messed up love.
But it was love.
Because they were desperate to see each other. But then Zendaya, I thought there was a wonderful scene of Zendaya sharing her amends in an NA meeting. I thought
Yeah, that was...
I thought that
Oh
was
yeah,
really-
because the guy that she met up with for Pancakes said...
That's right.
She said, you know, Jules is the reason why I'm stopping you. He's like, well, what are you going to do when she leaves?
Sponsor
Zendaya's
character.
like, well, she's not.
No,
And
no,
he's
no.
like, yeah, she...
Well, yeah, and again, he's a good character. He could have been quite a clumsy addition to the equation, couldn't he? Quite an obvious moral kind of
But he's
pointer.
he's not too, like, sympathetic or anything.
No.
He's just like...
Yeah, no, he's just straight to the
No,
point.
she's gonna leave
Like
me.
any good sponsor should be, actually. But I thought the way Zendaya has gradually shown this light coming back into her eyes with
Yeah.
sobriety, didn't you think that? It kind of reminded me, it actually gave me personal inspiration back to when I first came out of rehab. It's that you can see that transformation happening within her, and I think she's playing
good,
it.
isn't she?
Isn't she?
But not just being in love as well.
Yeah, in love, but that light. There's a light.
It's quite extraordinary.
Jules is kind of talking about all of the stuff she's done with guys before. And then Zendaya doesn't really say anything, and then Jules is like, wait,
yes.
so what have you done?
Oh, yes.
Zendaya's like, you're not a virgin.
Oh, I
or
thought that was a
something. And then-
really good scene.
Yeah,
really
because she
good.
was kind of embarrassed, wasn't she? And then
Zendaya's was so miserable.
Zendaya talks about all of her.
And they did one of those really clever, a bit like the dick pic montage, where they had a montage,
Yeah.
didn't they, or a quite quickly cut together sequence.
I
of
love the one
Zendaya's.
with that really nerdy guy that she had sex with on the floor, and then that
Yes.
shot of him naked next to her, and he goes, "Did you come?" And
Oh
she's
my
like,
It was
"Yeah."
God.
so disgusting.
She's like, yeah.
Sometimes I have to say the bare bones of the sort of nitty gritty really just makes you go, oh, I just want to be, I don't know, a cat or something. Well, no, but cats
No,
do
don't.
horribly. You don't want to be a
Don't
cat.
want
They do terrible things. There were, especially tomcats. But then we had another scene. We had
terrible things.
Sorry, the cats are awful. Don't go and see the musical Cats. It looks so creepy. Then we had a scene where Nate's dad is with another character, another sort of male prostitute, isn't he?
Oh yeah, the gay.
But we don't. Oh yes.
And there was no context.
The really
to-
camp guy.
Yeah. And he did the classic line that you see in so many films where Nate's dad said, I don't want to do anything, I just want to talk.
Yeah.
I thought the prostitute actor was amazing.
He was so.
He was so good.
Wasn't he?
I loved him.
He was great. I promise you now, whoever he is, he's going to pop up in
gonna
loads
get
of other
other
things. Yeah,
lots
yeah,
of
he really is.
other
He was so good.
Yeah,
It was
not
just
a
the way.
lot.
His way he was getting kind of bored by the conversation.
Yes,
So I was like,
yeah. He played it so well. He's got business to do. He's got his own agenda.
He's got his drugs.
He's got his drugs to
no,
take.
but he was just really happy. He's like, okay, but
Yeah, whatever. What do you want to
I'm
talk
here to
about?
do
Yeah,
this.
absolutely. But then I thought this is when Nate's dad went to a new level of, I thought, bringing complexity to it. Because at first I thought
he's a bit like Thanos.
Yeah, I know. It's like if Thanos had to kind of open up to a prostitute. This is
Yeah, but
what
like
Thanos
Thanos is a beast and is evil
Yes,
and
yeah.
he destroys people, but
Absolutely.
like he's also pretty.
But he's vulnerable.
He's got more.
He's got his own strange,
saying he
twisted
has morals, but-
Absolutely. So I thought that was a really powerful scene to contextualise not only Nate and his father, but his father's story. So you kind of, I mean, empathy is too strong a word, but what's clever is no one is dismissed morally.
Yeah.
Every character in this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Aren't they? Are stood up. Now, and then the final twist at the end of this episode is
What is that?
Maddie and Nate.
Well, basically, as the Nate's dad is leaving from meeting this prostitute.
Yeah.
As he's leaving, Nate is coming into the hotel to hook up with Maddie.
Same hotel.
Because Maddie was like driving around and she was trying to call Kat, wasn't she?
Yes.
Because she wanted to.
That's
she was
right.
like, I need you. She was like crying, and Kat was like, I'm busy.
Yeah.
And was like giving someone a blowjob or something.
Yeah.
And so then we get this moment where Maddie stops her car in the middle of a road, and then
That's
you're like,
right.
what is she
Oh,
doing?
that's right. Yes.
I didn't
yes,
know what
yes.
she was going to do.
No, I didn't.
And then she calls Nate, and then she goes and meets him at
Yes.
the hotel. And then you're like, oh.
Did you feel that was a bit of a misstep, Nad? You felt that was a bit too coincidental? Bit naff?
What, the dad and Nate
Ever since
crossing?
The fact that they hooked up at the same hotel.
Yeah.
But don't forget,
That's
within
the
a
only
local
one.
I
town.
mean, I don't know. I suppose if there's only one motel.
Because
Yeah.
also, as Nate walked past, the prostitute was like, hey, good looking.
I know.
I know. That was. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I've forgotten. That was the bit that I just didn't believe.
Oh, I know.
So what do we think is going on between Jules and Zendaya? What is Jules feeling, Ned? Is Jules wanting to run for the hills now?
I think the problem is with everything that we've seen of Jules, it's just not going to last. I think she feels great affection for Zendaya, but she needs to be
Dominated.
She
She
needs to
I
be
think she wants
brutalised.
a man, though.
She needs to feel things in
Yeah.
that way. She needs to be brutalised,
form of
and I just
self-harm,
don't
isn't it?
think it's going to work. And I'm heartbroken for Zendaya.
Oh.
She's going to go back on the
Don't. What's going to happen, Maddie?
It's going to be so heartbroken.
What's going to happen?
I loved that moment, though, when they were rollerblading and
Oh, I
having
did.
a really lovely time with that other girl as well.
But then she went weird then, didn't she?
Yeah,
When
she
the
went
girl
weird as
said,
soon as the
"You
girl said,
saved
it's
Maddie."
because of you, you know.
And there were
Why did you say Maddie? It's rude.
Sorry, rude.
Rude. But there were a couple of choice cutaway shots of Zendaya, weren't there, where you could see something
She was-
twigging in the back of her eye, like
Oh, when they were cycling away and Jules
what's
wasn't
happening
talking
here?
to
Why is she
them,
not? Yeah,
was
why is
like,
she a bit
yeah.
distant? Why is she a bit distant?
Yeah.
And therein is where we've got up to, and therein is my fear, and therein lies my horror. What's going to happen, Maddie?